Hey, Yeo Valley people. So this is Gus. I'm driving through rural Zimbabwe. We are in Bridge district, right in the south of Zimbabwe, on the banks of the great Limpopo River. I'm here to check out the 2017 Baobab harvest and see what we have in store for you. You can see from the tree behind me all those big, yummy, amazing Baobab fruit just getting themselves ready for you guys to eat. Right, Hamad, you've just opened the first fruit from the 2017 season to have a look inside. Tell me, how's it looking?
It looks good and fresh.
Oh, that looks beautiful. Let's have a look at that one close. Eee, that's a monster. Alright, so you guys in the UK, you may be wondering what's so great about this amazing African fruit, the Baobab. So I'm going to show you. See, we're in a very dry area of rural Zimbabwe, and somehow miraculously, through all this dry weather, this huge, enormous fruit has been produced from these huge, enormous trees. Why is that? Because these trees are incredibly adept at drawing what little moisture there is from the soil. But when you open up the fruit, what you get inside is dry. See, this is completely dry. It's not a juicy fruit. It's not like an apple or an orange or anything. It's a dry fruit because we're growing in a dry area. And this dry fruit represents incredibly concentrated nutrients for you guys. So what we got here is Africa's one and only amazing Baobab superfruit, which we are bringing all the way from Zimbabwe to you guys in the UK so that you can have it in your Yeo Valley Baobab and vanilla yogurt. It's good for you and it's good for Africa. Guys, me again. Yep, so if you want nice fruit, you got to sort them out. So here we are, first stage buying the fruit. We are sorting through them, checking which ones are exactly the perfect ones and which ones are not so perfect. They're all fantastic, of course, but we want to get the very best fruit. Are they the right size? Are they the right amount of ripeness? How do they look? It's people have many kind of almost mythical properties that they associate with the Baobab fruit. Many things that it's supposed to do. But the one overriding thing is it keeps you strong, it gives you energy, keeps you going all day. Those are phrases that people use about Baobab. The real advantage of commercializing Baobab and giving value to Baobab fruit is that it creates a completely different and much more sustainable livelihood option for people living in the areas where these trees are found. So Baobab grows in really dry areas, and those areas are inherently unsuitable for agriculture. So what you've got there is they will try and plant crops, and the crops usually fail, and when the crops fail, and they've cleared the vegetation to plant those crops, the soil is eroded away, and then there's nothing, it's just barren. By creating a market for Baobab fruit, what we've been able to do is to create a real incentive for people, instead of trying to grow crops that aren't going to grow, to generate income from harvesting the fruit, preserving the trees in situ, protecting the soil, protecting local biodiversity, and without any negative environmental impacts, generating a cash income in a completely sustainable manner. This enormous, incredible species, the Baobab, is in fact not a tree, it's actually a succulent. If you look into the plant and you cut away, what you find is millions and millions of tiny fibers that make up this bulk of the Baobab, and all they do is suck water from the soil up into this tree. So they're incredibly efficient at utilizing whatever water there is around in these very dry areas. They are a total miracle of nature. it is a tree that where we're harvesting from resources that exist where they are, and that generally where the baobab tree is found is in very poor, very dry areas. So the people that benefit from commercializing baobab are inherently the very poor people that live in those areas. This is not an opportunity that can ever be captured by big, large-scale corporations where they go and plant baobab plantations. It's never going to happen. So the more baobab that your Yeo Valley consumers consume, the more poor people in Africa benefit. That's a straight correlation.
Hi. My name's Natasha Clutterbuck and I specialise in creating vibrant vegetable drawings using natural raw materials found within a 10-mile radius of where I live. This time we've gone a bit further and all the materials have been sourced from Zimbabwe where the baobab tree grows. This has been the inspiration for the artwork that celebrates Yeo Valley's new baobab yoghurt. I was sent various different raw materials from Zimbabwe. So I sent a load of different seed pods and husks of various different plants. So I used them to kind of create the stain, which stained the initial backdrop. I was also sent 3 different types of mud, 3 different colours. And there's like a really lovely rich red mud, which is typical of the sort of African landscape. It's that red mud that you think of when you think of Zimbabwe. And then a dark brown, which is really lovely rich colour, which I've used in the body of the seed pods and the fruits. So what I've really enjoyed is actually using the muds and the different raw materials from Zimbabwe, but in combination with things like the yellow ochre and the willow charcoal from the Somerset levels, which is typical of this area around here, and it's kind of joined it together in this artwork that celebrates 2 communities working together. You can't get anything more authentic or real than that, and it's all about that honesty and sort of authenticity, staying in connection with the mud. Kind of mid-tone, which I've used in combination with yellow ochre to give the kind of the lovely sort of green. That's more about the one that I had was a bit browner. I think it wasn't quite as fresh as these. But then I've looked at sort of imagery to capture the kind of the freshness of the young baobabs, because the idea was to capture the story of how one develops.
Very nice.
You think so?
Yeah, beautiful.